This section heading is called Java. So now your open source Hadoop binaries are written in Java by default. And what we're going to do within this section is we're going to install Java for Hadoop release 1.2.1. So if we go over to the documentation for that release, what you're going to find under the required software section is that it requires Java 1.6. So we're going to do this installation on a Ubuntu desktop version 16.04. And the first thing that I'm having you do is to test if Java is installed on the system. So now what we're actually testing here is we're testing access to a script that comes with our Java installation from the user's home directory. And basically the reason why we're getting this message in this instance right here is because Java is not installed on the system by default. So if you actually install Java using the apt package manager, it's automatically going to create a directory called JVM and then house the Java installation inside of there. It's also going to set the appropriate environment variables in place so that you can execute this script from this location. So now the next command that I'm having you run is just to verify that that directory does not exist. So that is the JVM directory. So now we're not actually going to use the apt package manager to install Java 6. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to perform what is known as a manual install. So we're going to create the default directory that's used to house Java. So we're going to do a sudo mkdir mkdir, and then it's user lib, and then the directory we're going to create is JVM. So now the reason we're not installing it via our package manager is because it wasn't available with the mirrors that we currently have. So when actually going out and getting packages that weren't available via the mirrors, what I did is I downloaded them to a recommended location on the system for this user. So that is inside of user local and then inside source, you're going to see those packages. So this is the package right here that we're going to use to install Java 6. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to copy this file into the newly created directory. So we're going to do a sudo copy. We're going to copy user local and then source. We want Java 6, and we're going to copy that over to user lib and then JVM. Okay, so now take note of this file's color up here so we can see that it's nice and white. So your operating system is going to color code files based on how it's recognizing them. So right now it's recognizing this based on the color as a regular text file. So that's why it's nice and white. Now in order to make this file an executable, what we're going to do is we're going to run the following command. So we're going to type sudo chmod and then it's and x, and then we'll provide the path once again, JVM, and then the file. So now when the system will recognize it as an executable, it will actually color it nice and green. So now the next thing that we'll do is we'll verify that it in fact recognizes it as an executable. Okay, so now this file is a bin file, and we can't extract this file to that location from here. So what we have to do is we basically have to set our working directory to the JVM directory and then extract the file. So what I'm having you do to kind of do this whole process is we're going to run 3 commands from a single prompt. So we're going to type change directory to user lib and then JVM. So what's enabling us to actually execute multiple commands from a single prompt is this semicolon over here. So now that we change directory or set our working directory to the JVM directory, now we're going to extract the file. So we'll do a sudo // and then the file name. And one more time right here. So copy, paste, and then semicolon again, and then change directory to our current location, which is our home directory. So now once the file gets extracted, we want to verify that it did in fact extract to that location. So we're just going to list the JVM once again, and inside of the JVM you're going to see the extracted file. So we're going to refer to this extracted file as our installation directory, and now we're going to run that Java command one more time. So we're going to test access to those scripts that come with our Java installation. Now the reason we can't access these scripts from this location is because we don't have the appropriate environment variables in place. So that's going to lead us to our next section.